Pizza Tower is one of the most incredibly unique and fun games to have come out of the recent decade, with its simple controls allowing for incredibly fast-paced gameplay once you're able to master them all. Recently, I found a video by a YouTuber named BankedNRN attempting to beat Pizza Tower with the minimum amount of left and right presses. And while I'm not usually big for challenges like this, I thought for once I'd take a slice of this and try to remove as many left and right presses as I possibly could. This isn't meant to be a competition, but rather just as a little fun challenge to me. With that all being said, how many left and right presses does it take to beat Pizza Tower? Pete Escape features the Night transformation. In this transformation, the only mobility we have is double jumping and sliding, meaning that it's rather hard to maintain a low left and right press. You can only walk in this form, sadly, so any other movement is null and void until you hit a slope. Despite this, there are some ways to get rid of some of the left and right presses in this level. By using the Knight Slam attack, we can get this topping and remove one of the left presses he used in his playthrough. Sadly, despite my best attempts, these two left and right presses are mandatory, as these rats are only capable of being defeated by sliding into them, even if Peppino now has a sword, which, I don't know, like, can he just hit him? And while there is no way to remove this one, we can remove these ones in this room. Usually there's a speedrun trick to get rid of the Knight early, but thankfully there's a much easier way to do this. By just holding left, we can do a double jump up to here and get rid of the Knight, since the rule stated,
one of my rules here, which is, you're allowed to hold the button down. It's only when you release and press it again that it counts as a left or right press.
And for the most part, that's Pizza Escape. Nothing all too complex, but trust me, the levels will get harder on from this point. Now this, Ancient Cheese, is the level I wanted to do the most, because I felt like I had the most potential in removing a left and right press, and honestly, I'm pretty proud of it. This level features bombs, which are required to defeat these stupid rats, and yes, that's literally their name. For the most part, it's not too tricky for this one. The second one is a bit tougher, requiring you to roll into the bomb goblin and move him over, so you can more easily throw this bomb at the stupid rat, requiring no left and right presses. And we reach this room, and this is the room I am proud of the most. If you mock run into this room, jump off the wall, grab the goblin while going mock, hold up on the D-pad, and let go of the grab button, you should just barely have enough space to get this goblin to the pit, from which point you should easily be able to defeat this rat. And while I am a bit sad to say this level still requires one left press, I think overall I'm still pretty proud of this level and how I did. Moving on. Next up on the chopping block is Oregano Desert. I won't be going super into detail, but there are two notable skips here that I would like to mention. While most of the fire mouth transformations do have a required left or right press, we can do our best to remove as many as we possibly can. The first fire mouth transformation only requires one left and one right press, but thankfully we're thrown a bone, or I guess a chicken wing? I don't know. But there's a speedrun trick here where you can bounce off the chicken wing guy and defeat this stupid rat, which removes a lot of presses that you have to do. And you don't even have to touch the Pope if you just wait here for the tribal cheese to hit you. Funny story about this actually. I got here by accident by the tribal cheese, and I didn't even know you could do that, because I was just thinking about what to do next, but that's pretty funny I guess. The level so far is pretty much the same as Bank's run, up until this point, with this one part of the level where he said,
however, since we're near endgame here and we only need $60 more, we're able to get through this level while skipping a few top-ins. So with that, I decided to skip the last top-in as it took quite a few left and right presses, but that doesn't mean this level's a piece of cake.
So I wanted to see if you could do this top-in for the top-in chop. At first it seemed like there wasn't anything you could do here, but by trial and error I finally managed to hit this tiny little ledge here, and got just barely enough distance to make it in between these two cows by dashing and landing down by holding down. And while this is very tight, the topping is rather easy to collect once you're able to get here. Also, I kind of forgot to not press left here, so I'm an idiot. But trust me when I say this topping is 100% easy once you get this down, and is possible without left and right presses. Fun Farm is our next level, and one of the shorter ones I'll mention. This level features More to Chicken from the hit PS1 game, More to Chicken. More is actually one of the more useful transformations in this game, especially for this challenge, as his attack moves us forward. There's not much to improve on here, except for one room. The only improvement here is with yet another speedrunning trick. It's actually faster to lose Mort here by getting hit by this giant potato. You don't need to get the Pope at all. It's rather precise and a bit tricky, but not impossible by any means, and the rest of the level is easy after this, so we can remove a whole 3 from Banks' run. Hi, sorry, Daisy in editing. I forgot to mention that you actually can get over here without having to move right at all and defeat the stupid rat. Meaning this level is beatable at 3 here. Yeah, that's it. Sorry. Finally, we have Numb Forest, my favorite level, because we play as the best characters in the game, Gustavo and Brick. While they are a bit difficult to control for this challenge specifically, it's definitely not that hard. Sadly, we can't get past this crouching section, but by holding right, we can very easily pass this section and the next section with us holding the right button to get past this. From now on, most of our movement will be using Gustavo's spin move, and honestly, looking at it, it's kind of fun if you put the right music over it. There are sections that appear to be a bit tricky, but honestly, with just the right amount of placement and moving correctly, we can pass this section pretty easily, and this section as well. This should be a good time to mention that you may have noticed that some of my footage looks weird with how sometimes I have all the toppings and sometimes I don't. And this level is the most prominent example. I'm using a mod called Speedrun Practice so I don't have to rip my hair out just to restart a level if I fail, which allows me to reload certain parts of the levels and gets rid of toppings and pizza wizards, which is also why the Oregano Desert doesn't have the pizza timer on it, because I literally have over 12 recordings of that one attempt and kept losing to pizza time, and I really didn't want to do it over and over again, so I kind of just did it. But obviously this is for theoretical, so I'm just doing it for this. In a single run this would be a lot harder, but I'm doing this as a theoretical. And back to Gustavo and Brick. This section looks impossible, but if we just get Brick, his hitbox is big enough to break this block. Sadly, there is one more press of right with this section, but with this we can do it with only 2 presses of right, meaning we can prove that we're superstars. Toppings give us a lot of money to buy fancy cars. Nothing much for Pig City. Only thing to note here is that you want to keep a super taunt to kill this one pig, and you're gonna have to do some tricky platforming to remove a left press here. But aside from that, not much to say. It's pretty alright. Honestly, I didn't expect this challenge to go that far, but honestly, the more I went, the funner it became. Sure, there were some levels I skipped because I honestly just was too tired to go through them all, but honestly, I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'd like to thank Banks and whoever else is doing this challenge. And I want to say that I'm hoping that whatever your minimum requirement is, whatever you got, that you're happy with what you got, because I'm happy with what I got, even if I know eventually someone will probably figure out something to remove some of the presses that I got, but I don't care all that much, you know? I did what I could, and I'm pretty damn proud of what I did. If you like this content, go check out Banks, and please subscribe. It means a lot to me, because this is one of my more lengthier videos. Regardless of that, have a good day.